This is Nebraska Farmcast, a production of the Center for Agricultural Profitability at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. I'm Ryan Evans. Are U.S. farmers being paid fairly for the quality of the hard red winter wheat they produce? New research here at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln looks at the role of quality characterizations in pricing hard red winter wheat. The findings are summarized in a new Cornhusker Economics article from the UNL's Agricultural Economics Department, which we've posted on our site at cap.unl.edu. For more, I am joined now by one of the co-authors of the research, Cory Walters, who is an associate professor in the Ag Econ Department here at UNL. Thanks for being here, Cory.
Thank you, Ryan.
So can you just give a quick overview of the amount of hard red winter wheat produced in the U.S. and how that fits into the domestic and global economies?
You bet. Yeah, the hard red winter wheat, which is largely grown in Nebraska out on the west side of the state. So over the whole U.S., there's about 600 plus million bushels a year, depending on yield. And then in that, the export market is an important destination, and roughly 13% we contribute to the global export market. So hard red winter wheat is still a major commodity in the Great Plains and the northern region of the United States.
Great. And what are some common end uses for hard red winter wheat?
Yeah, when we think of hard red winter wheat, we think of bread, flatbreads, hard rolls, general purpose flour, and also some noodles.
Okay, great. So
Asian noodles, particularly.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. You've co-authored, as we mentioned, this new research that looks at hard red winter wheat pricing and whether farmers are being paid for producing quality wheat. So what does that mean, and why did you dive into this topic?
Yeah, so this question came out of the Nebraska Wheat Board by essentially asking, how can we improve farmers' prices, how to market access, these sort of things. And there's always been this conception that farmers growing winter wheat are not paid for quality. And at the same time, there's new varieties that have quality characteristics in them that are being suggested to them, but you don't see those prices or those quality characteristics or prices associated with those on your settlement sheet. So it begs the question is well, are farmers paid for winter wheat quality characteristics?
So maybe an issue of transparency potentially there?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what does determine the quality of hard red winter wheat? What characteristics are you looking at?
There's a whole bunch. There's milling and baking were the ones we were going after because those aren't the ones that show up on the settlement sheet.
What are the specific milling and baking characteristics that you're talking about?
Yeah, so there's a few of them. Let's start with the milling. We kind of whittled this down from talking with industry experts to focus on the ones they found most important. So we had 1,000 kernel weight, and that's an indicator of flour yield. The percent of large kernels is an indicator of milling yield. And then we went into the single kernel characterization system. And then you're looking for things there of associated with milling, like weight, diameter, hardness, all these sort of things that affects cost of milling. And then we went to the baking side, and then we went into the PL ratio, where that's the P represents a resistance to break the dough, and the L is a part of indicates the extendability, the stretch of the dough. So we got that one. Then we had water absorption. Is the amount of water needed to reach optimum dough consistency. Then we also had mixing time that it takes for dough sample to reach optimum consistency. We had mixing tolerance, and then loaf volume, crumb grain. I'm kind of speeding up because they're still all over in the baking characteristics, but There's a bunch of them here. So we looked at the ones that the industry experts said were the most important from their experience.
And then is there a grading system in place currently at all for it when it's delivered to the elevator?
Yes. So there is a grading system that exists right now, and that relies on the U.S. standard grade factors, which is test weight, defects, and moisture content. And then on top of that, elevators can also add in, and very routinely do, premiums and discounts associated with both protein and falling numbers as well. That's pretty much all you see on your settlement sheet right now.
Okay. So when you dove into this, looking at this in your research, what did you find?
Yeah. So we did find evidence that milling and baking quality characteristics are valued, but not directly. They're indirectly valued in the sense of if there's a region that has high milling and baking quality characteristics, then that region was found to have a higher basis associated with it, because the millers, the buyers of wheat, are seeking out those characteristics, and they're willing to pay more for that wheat to create the product that they're wanting to create.
So how might your research then be used to inform policy decisions going forward? Yeah,
so what we're advocating here, instead of this kind of indirect mechanism right now where the regional basis is being impacted, we're advocating for a more transparent system where there would be some of these milling and baking quality characteristics would actually show up on the settlement sheet, thereby giving farmers the incentive then to say, I need to make sure I produce those things because they're being valued. And that can happen in two ways. One is that they could get a premium for it, for that milling and baking characteristic, or they do not get a discount against it. You don't want to watch your price erode off because you didn't produce quality wheat.
Mm-hmm. And maybe this is or isn't your place to say, but do you expect change in that regard coming anytime soon in the industry?
We are going to do everything in our power to incentivize the policymakers with this information to change the system because of this evidence now that end use characteristics are being valued back at the local elevator, and we want to make the system more efficient and effective.
All right, that's Cory Walters, Associate Professor in UNL's Agricultural Economics Department. And again, you can look for new research that he has co-authored here from the department as part of our Cornhusker Economics series, which we have reposted on our Center for Ag Profitability's website at cap.unl.edu. And that link is also in the description for this podcast here. So Cory, thanks so much for your time and the great information.
Thank you, Ryan.
Nebraska Farmcast is a production of the Center for Agricultural Profitability at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. For the latest research-based information and education resources to manage your farm or ranch operation, visit our website at cap.unl.edu. That's cap.unl.edu.